So I can think back to it was about 4.5 years ago when I first started my business, where I I was in the nutrition business originally, and just didn't really know who my ideal clients were, and I was really unclear about that, especially it was I think I was thinking about doing weight loss, but I hadn't actually been through the weight loss journey, so I really didn't know a lot about that. And it is interesting now to see that most of my clients really mirror me in a lot of ways, which means that I can actually just be myself through my photos, through my brand, and then those correct match people end up showing up and working with me. And Melissa, when you had talked about uh, like locations for photo shoots.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that's really in my brand is travel. And so it was just last fall, I went over to Europe and actually had two different photo shoots. I had one in the middle of Paris and then another in Geneva, Switzerland.
Nice.
And it was so neat. And that was really an intention of the trip too, was to go over and have these photos.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so neat to be an example of like living the sort of entrepreneurial life that I wanted and having these photos. And actually this one here,
Mm-hmm.
that's in the old town of Geneva.
Nice.
And gosh, and it was just so fun and it was really important. And then I feel like that helped to draw the right type of clients toward me in my business who really were desiring that sort of lifestyle. And
Mm-hmm.
then I get to show them how to do that by being an entrepreneur.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was just great. And then I can also think of one other thing as an example, because you talked a lot about essence, like really getting the essence of who we are in our brand and
Mm-hmm.
representing that visually and through photos and through our website. Another one for me is that nature is a really big part of my brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I just filmed a video the other day where I'm actually just laying in the grass and I put the camera right here in front of me in the
Nice.
grass. And and I write about nature and how you can align with the natural world for success and for health and even for monetary success. And that's been really a lot of fun. And I do find that the people who show up once again are naturally minded. They're usually eating pretty well,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe they buy organic food. And it is, yeah, it's just me being me, and then the clients showing up who mirror me and
Right.
who are desiring to come and learn how to get to that point where they can lead the sort of lifestyle that I lead as an entrepreneur now. So it's just
Right.
amazing what photos can do and just
Right.
that visual representation of the brand.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's so important to, I mean, typically our ideal client is us,
Right.
like a couple of steps, maybe one or two steps behind where we were.
Hmm.
In my case, my ideal client is like me now or me 10 steps ahead because of the photography piece.
Hmm.
I'm not doing as much coaching anymore, but it really is like you just attract people who are like you. Like for me with the photography, here in Colorado, I take women out into the mountains, and it's like I had a, I had a photo shoot a couple of weeks ago. I'm also working on this project called the Women's Congenital Heart Disease. The Women's
Right.
CHD Photo Project. So it's congenital heart disease, and so I'm going to be traveling. When I travel, I'm going to seek out women who want to be photographed for this project. And my goal at the end is to have enough photos and stories about these women to make a book.
Mm.
So my first client, my first CHD client, I took her out into the woods, and my makeup artist came along, and so at the end of it, I looked at my makeup artist and I go, so has any photographer ever trekked you out into into the middle of the woods and like had your client get into a mountain stream? And she started laughing. She's like, no,
That's
but
great.
like, that's what I love to do. And that's kind of like, I'm totally in my element in the mountains or in the
Hmm.
ocean. Mountains and ocean are pretty equal for me.
Hmm.
So I find that I attract clients who are more outdoorsy and more adventurous and
Uh-huh.
who want to portray that because that's how I am,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's so true. You just, the people you attract are just like you, and like they have similarity, you have similarities, you have a lot in common, and yeah, so
Yeah, it's
it
quite
makes it a lot
amazing.
easier.
I know it does, right?
Yeah.
And again, for everyone watching this, it really makes it so easy to be in business when you are just you.
Yeah,
And when you
totally.
have said yes to all the things that you're passionate about, and when you've actually found a way to turn that into money and something that brings you great income and also great joy at the same time, and then you just get to go out into the world, show up as you, have beautiful photos, have just an image that just is very purely you.
Hmm.
And then people are just going to want it, and they're going to come and they are going to want to send money to you and to hire
Hmm.
you.
Yep.
And it's just quite amazing. And it does take a lot of soul searching though to get there. Like it's a process, and it will just be a continual process of saying yes and yes and yes and yes to the things that you love.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Melissa, would you tell everyone how they can find out more about you and see the beautiful photos that you have?
Yes, so my website is about to be totally revamped.
Ooh,
It should
awesome.
be happening in the next like week,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully within the next week because it's in the works right now as we
Mm-hmm.
speak. Um, from the coaching to the photography, but you can find me over at melissafrederick.com, and all of my information is there. You can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/body empowerment photographer.
Oh, great. Okay.
So if you want to follow me there, you can follow me there, and then you can check out my website. I'll have all my photo galleries up on my website
Mm-hmm.
and everything, and those are on Facebook as well. So
Oh, and they're gorgeous photos. I really suggest just looking at them. Like the vibrancy and the color coming through in these photos is just, it's beautiful.
thank you.
Yeah, it really
I love it.
is. Congrats, Melissa. It's like
Thank you.
you have said yes to this new part of yourself, and well really it's been an existing part,
Right.
but now it's just coming forward in full force. And I wish you just such amazing growth and joy in the new direction of your business.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate it. And same to you, Ava.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. And if you need any more information or if you need connections to Melissa at all, you can always get in touch with me through my website also, which is avawaits.com. And I just want to thank you all for being here and have a lovely day and a lovely week. Thanks so much, Melissa.
Thank
Bye,
you, Ava.
everyone.
Bye.